So petals are quite easy to paint without a drawing, without a diagram. I'm using a flat brush, and it's a size invisible number. It's an 8. So you can either not even draw the painting on, you can just put your brush down and shape it into a petal like that. I mean, that's the sort of basis for most petal shapes. Obviously with roses it's a bit different, but it's a great way to start. And it's the same for leaves. The leaves you don't have to fill in the inside like that. I have shown you on other paintings of mine how I do leaves, so I'm not going to show you here. Although, because of the metallic I used here, I just did them very simply. So I think I've put in all the yellow that I need to, and maybe I could do another one up there. The rest of it will just be in the background. This is just a single bud. I can make a single bud there. 2. And make another one up there. It's part of a flower. And so I'll let that dry, and then I'll try to put gold in the center to outline the bud that sort of stands up in the center of a daffodil, and see how that will look. But if the gold doesn't show it, then I'll have to use yellow ochre. I'm not entirely sure the silver is the right colour. It would definitely have looked better with the green. Well, the silver was definitely looking out of place here, so I took some green, some I don't know, cool green, Amsterdam, and I mixed it with silver, and I'm going to see what that does. Might not be the most pleasing green I've ever. Touch of white to it, maybe. It's very dark. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll only know when it dries whether it's going to show the metallic in, since I have added white to the green as well as the silver. So basically this is how you can do a leaf. If it's a rose leaf or any other leaf, you just do a center like that, and then you can just, that's sort of part of the leaf showing. You could do the other side as well if you wanted to make a bigger leaf. Just like that. And there you have many different shades showing through. And here I'll do the same. And maybe one down here will be darker. So you can add variety, and of course it's always a good idea not to make them exactly opposite each other, because they sometimes do grow like that. I've noticed on my roses they actually do. Well, they form little bands of 5, either 3 or 5. Like on a stalk you'll have 5 or 3. But they won't be necessarily opposite each other like this on the rose. So you can also then just make a streak through to show the vein. So you can remove some of the colour to show the vein. But right now I've got a lot of paint on my paintbrush. I've put gold in the centre of the daffodils and it's not showing up that much. So I might put a bit of white around the tips just to show the cup shape. And you won't see what's inside them. And some are hanging down and some are upwards. And these I need to do another layer of the colour of the petals because they're not dark enough, and so the gold is not going to show through there. Here I just wanted to show you a painting, a portrait I did a long time ago, and in it I incorporated the pearlescent colours by painting on butterflies in blue and then painting the pearlescent blue over them, and a green and purple on the crown because it was her birthday, and the butterflies blue, and her dress was also, well, her actual dress wasn't purple, but I made it purple, so it was, I think, a pinky purplish colour, I can't remember. Anyway, so that's how you can incorporate the pearlescent colours, even though her face is actually oil, and underneath the hair there was a little bit of the pearlescent gold, which I was hoping would just give a glint to the blonde hair, and obviously the skin didn't have any of it, so I very carefully painted everything in such a way that I knew where I was going to leave the darker colours for the pearlescent, and then where I was going to paint over with oils. So that's how I made a fun painting to please, hopefully, a little girl. At first layer you could say I was just blocking in the colour, and now I'm refining the colour by adding a second layer. And as you can see there, it's made a big difference and actually makes the gold stand out a lot. And the green is looking much better now. The green mixed with the silver. So I'm happy that was a good idea. And I may add another layer of the pearlescent, simply because the first layer, well, it is showing, but I mean, against this dark background, it's very, very pale, and I just want it to be a little bit brighter, so I will do that. I want to make the painting as pretty as possible. Okay, so this one I smudged a bit, but that's not serious. And here I can add some more. I need more white. And that's the way to get the painting the way you want it. Anything that I've missed, I'll stand back and look, and then come back for a third layer if necessary. I think I've got them all in, maybe the one at the top. This was just going to be a bud, but now it's a bud with 3 petals. So here I've added the cups, the top of the cups of the little line to indicate the top of the cup, and inside you would normally see it's lighter, but if I do paint it much more in there you won't see the edge of where the gold goes into the yellow, so I'm going to just leave it like that just to indicate the top of the cup. And some are hanging downwards, like that one's hanging, that's upwards, that's downwards, and I'm going to just leave those like that. The painting is now complete. I went over all the colours again. The blue wasn't really showing very blue, so where I could I went over it. When I didn't have enough blue left I just used the purple, the mauve, and you can see the bits of gold in between the yellow, and that's just forming the background. That's lovely in this kind of little wildflower meadow abstract painting. The more colour in the background the better. It just fills up the painting and adds depth to it. And I went over the leaves and added a bit more green in between, and I'm happy. I think it's a great use of the little painting that I had, which was looking like nothing in particular and going nowhere. So this might be something that somebody might want to hang on their wall. I would. So thank you for watching, and I will keep on coming up with new ideas for my paintings. Let me know your thoughts. What would you do with your paintings, your acrylic pours, or what are you doing with them, or are you not doing acrylic pours? Bye for now.